It is a special and important day here in New Zealand. It is Election Day 2020. Yes, October 17th. The day has arrived. And I'm here to tell you that I, a disabled New Zealander, voted yes for the Euthanasia end-of-life choice bill, assisted dying, however you want to sort of pronounce it. Yes, it kind of feels like I'm in the minority when it comes to the New Zealand disability community, because if you go on social media, there's quite a few advocates out there that are very anti David Seymour's end-of-life choice bill. I want to tell you why I voted yes, and I want to try and keep it as brief as possible. So, in a nutshell, yes, I'm a disabled New Zealander. Yes, access to, to healthcare and, the support I need. I'm very lucky that I have, fairly good support in my life, whether that be through support workers, whether that be through my partner, Jessica, who you also see on this channel, whether that be through, my family and my natural supports, if you want to refer to them as that. But, it is still a struggle. However, I just don't... I don't believe that I'm going to be more vulnerable as a disabled New Zealander after this bill comes into law. And the reason I say that, you might say that it's very naive, and that's your opinion. But I have been fighting this disability for 28 years. The doctors said I wasn't even, meant to make the age of 16, and I did. I'm now 28, so that's 12 years and counting. Like everybody, regardless of a disability or not, I've been through a fair bit of shit. I've well documented on my blog my issues with depression, my issues with, suicide in the past, thinking about that possibility when I was at my lowest point. I got through all that, and I still have those moments. Depression is... They don't call it the black dog for nothing. It's always there. But I continue every day, and I'm not saying this to try and sound cliche, to try and inspire anybody. If you want that, there's other disabled vloggers out there you can go and watch. But honestly, there is no way on God's green earth that I'm gonna wake up, at the end of October, when obviously the referendum was today. We're gonna find out the results about whether this thing is going to be into law at the end of the month. I'm not gonna wake up, in October this year, and then in 12 months' time, when it does become law, I'm not gonna wake up and say, hey, I can't do this anymore. And I'm not going to throw that all away, that 28 years all away. And the coercion argument is quite interesting, because I don't discount that for a minute. I don't discount the fact that people such as myself are vulnerable. I've been in vulnerable positions. I mean, if you Google Michael Pullman on New Zealand Herald, you might read about a carer leaving me in the shower, for example. I've been through my fair share of shit, and I've been to hell and back like all of you have, and all of that, I'm not gonna... If that hadn't got me to the point of, signing up for a law that I'm not even eligible for, if you read the legislation, I'm just not going to change my mind on that. I can't. What would the last 28 years of my life have been? It's the same as when I was in that dark place. When the black dog was following me, when I did reach the end of my limit, a couple of years back, when I subsequently made the decision to stop drinking alcohol. I haven't had a drop of alcohol in 2 years. All that is worth it. And there isn't a law in the land that is going to make me second guess my value and how I feel about myself as a New Zealand citizen and what I feel I'm entitled to. I'm disabled or not, you're entitled to the same rights, the same access, the same treatment and the same dignity as everybody else. And for me, the End of Life Choice Bill is a vote about dignity. And people who have been very loud and vocal against it within the disability community, I believe are truly the ones that are misinformed. And I certainly don't. A tetraplegic who had an accident at a young age doesn't speak for me. None of them speak for me, quite frankly. But they've taken it upon themselves to be a spokesperson for our people, and I think that's wrong. And they can think all they want about me for voting yes, but I stand by that decision. Why? I think, honestly, when I went to the booth today, the voting booth, I thought about my grandparents. 2 of them died of terminal cancer. I remember the way that they were in their last few weeks of life. There were no wrong diagnoses there, and there was no dignity in them, getting to the point where they couldn't even eat or drink or speak. People that I love, and I think this is such an emotive, personal vote. And I'm not going to sit here and say anybody's wrong, but you've got to, this video will post after the election, and I think most people who went to the polls this week would have come at it from a very personal standpoint, and I think that's democracy, and when you take that away, when you start telling people what they should do morally, right or wrong, because of very valid, again, none of these people who are against it are wrong, but they don't speak for me, and they never did. And I was very confident, as a disabled person, I was very confident in my vote of yes, and I will never come to regret that, because this isn't a vote about me. This is a vote about my, what would have been the right thing for my grandparents, and that's what people will be voting on. We all know someone who's had terminal cancer. We all know somebody who has had very awful conditions, and their quality of life and that last has just been so bad that they're barely recognisable, and they died without dignity. So that's why I voted yes, and I don't regret that. Please subscribe and hit the bell down below if you want to be notified of new videos. Comment what you think about the End of Life Choice Bill. What do you think about assisted suicide, assisted dying, whatever you want to call it? What do you think about that in general? Nobody's right or wrong. So wherever you see this, please comment down below, and stand by your vote, guys. Stand by your vote. And until the next time, this is a work in progress. I'm doing my very best with the video quality and all that. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. And until then, catch me and the fidget spinner in the next video.